Morning, Randy T-Bird here. March 1st, 2020. What can I say about Arizona? But another stellar day outside. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but it's beautiful today. Well, I got a couple new things going. I bought a new editing software. I actually bought this. The free ones just don't seem to work for me. I bought Adobe Premiere Elements, and we're going to give that a try with today's video. I am a bit slow to learn these programs, but it's got a couple different levels on it. I was noticing this morning as I uploaded it or downloaded it. It has a basic, a guided, and an expert level that you can go through. So just messing around with a couple old videos that I had. Looks like it's going to be somewhat easy for an old guy like me to figure out. So we're going to give that a try this afternoon. Otherwise, just kind of enjoying the weather. It was actually warm enough yesterday to sweat, which is new for this year. Don't mind. I'm actually riding in a insulated flannel today and no jacket. It's pretty nice. Been following more along the lines of the new Harley. The new Harley Softail Standard. It seems like the consensus is that it's just a chrome or polished street bob. You know, and that's pretty correct actually. But I don't see why it's a problem for some people. Maybe some people don't want the black. But anyway, we talked about that before. I actually got to see one the other day, and it was actually a pretty nice looking bike. I think it's going to sell. The price point is right. Also read that the guy, the CEO of Harley Davidson, is stepping down. Honestly, I think I don't think his leadership was that strong, and they've continually declined since this guy took over. And I don't know, some of the new products that they've brought out, I shake my head about, and others have been next to genius. But it's been obvious to me for a while that Willie G is not pulling the strings on the design anymore. I mean, the FX DR, it's kind of to me, it looks kind of like a replacement for the V-Rod, for people who like V-Rods. I was at a dealership last week, and the salesman was all excited because he had finally sold one of the FX DRs, a 19 model that's been there for 8 or 9 months. And they don't look half bad once you clean up that tail section, but it's just all very confused looking. The exhaust system might appeal to people who like sport bikes with that exhaust, but I think they're a little confused about who their market is these days with some of the bikes. There's been some cool bikes that they put out over the years. I think the Electric Glide Standard was a good call. They sell a lot of the street bobs and road glides. The last redesign on the road glide made it look pretty nice. If you're into the fixed fairing thing, I've ridden them, and it's just an odd feeling for me with the fixed fairing. But people that like them swear by them. Anyway, just out for a ride. Feels like it's starting to get a little breezy. It's supposed to. The rain's supposed to come in tomorrow. There's a chance for that. They said 10% chance, so you never know. It's probably just going to get cloudy and sprinkle here and there. And then the temperature next weekend is going to be back up in the 80s. my band is hosting a music event next weekend. It's called the Ghetto Blast. So we're gonna have 4 bands. So Saturday is gonna be quite the busy day for me. Keeping the bands together, running sound, running my own band through there as well. It's gonna be a good time, barbecue and food. And I've been putting on this event for years and years, and it was my first attempt at promoting an event, and it's a lot of work. A lot of phone calls. The other day I had a cancellation, and I spent nearly 2 hours on the phone trading texts, making phone calls, emails, trying to get everything set and replace the band and change schedules around. So it is a lot of work, but it's one of those events. It's fun while you're doing it and you're glad it's over, but you had a good time doing it. Just very tiring. It's a very long day. It starts for me at about 8 o'clock in the morning and ends sometime after 1 in the morning. So big day, but I do get to play some music. So for about an hour and a quarter or hour and a half, my band gets to go up and do a set, and the rest of the time I'm just monitoring sound and introducing bands and enjoying the music. Even get to drink a beer now and then. So it'll be a good day. Running without the windshield again today. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I put the windshield back on, went for a ride, and I just put the Mustang seat on, so it changed the viewing attitude a little bit, or the way the windshield sits. And sorry about that. The way the windshield sits in my line of sight was kind of odd. I don't know. I've got to come up with a different solution. I need the windshield to be an inch or inch and a half shorter. I don't know if a plastic shop can cut that windshield, or if that's not a good idea. If anybody's done it and know how it's done, let me know. I'm just not a tall guy, and it kind of bugs me looking through the windshield. They either got to be so tall that I don't have that line in the middle of my vision, or short enough that I can look completely over it without having the line right in the middle of my screen. Anyway, just cruising today. It's just a really nice day. The sky is clear. Desert is looking good. Here it's March. Pretty soon the temperatures are going to start warming some. Again, it's going to be in the 80s late in the week, and that's about as perfect as it gets around here in the desert, is the 80 degrees. 80, 85, even touching 90 is good. It's cool in the mornings this time of the year, cool in the evenings, and the daytimes are awesome. You know, you can get away with just riding in your cut and a long sleeve shirt, or even if you're used to cooler weather and you're out here visiting. I see people riding around in t-shirts in the 60s. Us desert dwellers, our blood is very, very thin, so we're cold when it's under 80. But anyway, it's the last couple months of the year before it gets really hot again. Once you get into late May into June, you can have 110 degrees anytime. And then when you get into July and August, the humidity is up with the monsoons, or the rainy season. If we get lucky enough to have any rain this year. Last year we didn't. It was a very dry summer. We did get the humidity, unfortunately. There were a couple days where the humidity was, I swear it was southeastern bad, 80%. You know, that here is hot. Very oppressively hot when you're not used to it. But again, I'm planning on traveling north into Colorado or southern Utah this summer and checking out the parks. And later in the summer, we're going to take a family trip. My wife and the boy, we're going to go up and we're going to go camping up in the Durango area. There's a kind of a cool campground up in a place called Dolores, Colorado, just up north of Dolores on the way to Telluride. It's right along the river there, and it's just a really cool campground, and we're putting together enough camping gear so it'll be comfortable. I don't like sleeping on the ground. We're going to try some cots. this year. It's funny, my dad used to have army cots we used to sleep on, and the old canvas things, if you remember, that old probably World War II Korean War surplus. As I grew up in the 60s, there was a lot of surplus around. But we had canvas tents and canvas cots, and you know how that stuff would rot away eventually, and it just but you know, we had a good time. My dad was really liked to fish and camp and everything, so we did a lot of that when we were growing up. I need to make time for that stuff anymore. It seems like the busy life, and you don't get enough time. And well, I'm gonna make time now. You know, I'm not gonna live forever. I want to teach the boy as he grows. He just turned 6. I want to teach the boy some things that are not just video games and things to do in-house involving TV or whatever. You know, let's get them involved in nature. You know, and hopefully they stay involved in nature. You know, they're going to take better care of it than, let's be honest, than our generation has. Yeah, it's, you want to call us baby boomers, I guess. You know, I had no control over when I was born. You know, people that use that as a derogatory, well, you know, just remember you'll be there someday too, and they'll be making derogatory comments on you. It's kind of a young person thing. Holier than thou, whatever. Just remember, your time will come, and you'll be reminiscing, and hopefully there's something left for you guys. And anyway, enough of an environmental rant. This is Randy T-Bird in Arizona, March 1st. If you like what you see, subscribe, and I've had a lot of subscribers lately, and I appreciate that. Keep it up. Tell your friends. Drop me a line. I will answer everything I get. You know, maybe if I had 100,000 subscribers, I may not be able to answer everything, but I think we're safe for a little while yet. Anyway, Randy T-Bird signing off.